Culture Vultures is the second illustration exhibition that we've had at Mashmob. The first one was called Best of Belfast, and for this one we kind of went wider afield, so it features illustrators from all over Ireland this time.
We seen a sort of a gap in the market. There was a lot of illustrators and a lot of talented artists out there that just weren't having opportunities that they should have had. So Mel and I decided to set up an animation house to sort of attract those people.
A lot of my stuff will be put up online on different websites, which means that it's worldwide, so you do get a lot of feedback from around the world, which is lovely. So yeah, the public kind of plays a big part in that they like and share work on social media platforms now, and that's a big part of it, and that gets it into the attention of art directors and editors from around the world, so you can work from lots of different places. But it's brilliant to do stuff locally because you get to come in to places like Mashmob and meet people from your local vicinity who are really into it and are really engaged by it. So it's really nice to get out of the house for a change and not just be staring at a screen and see the reaction, but to have the real life reaction, and especially live drawn in front of people. It's really wonderful because they get to come up to you and interact and sometimes give you suggestions as well, which is great.
It's very difficult for an illustrator. It's just you're sort of a one-man band. A lot of illustrators around Northern Ireland or Ireland, and if they want to make it big or even get work that pays well, they have to go to the likes of London, New York, those big sort of hubs. So we'd like to bring that to Northern Ireland or Ireland and just give those people an opportunity. We'd sort of represent them and help them just get work.
First and foremost, I just really like people just to see the work and leave it as open as possible to see what people get from it. I think on the opening night of the exhibition it was really interesting to see people's initial reaction, how they felt about seeing the work. What I want them to take away from it is just simple enjoyment of the portrait itself. I think the portrait can be quite an old-fashioned form of art, and I kind of want to make it relevant and give it a function and a purpose in modern society.
Can you talk us through maybe something that stands out to be poignant in your work that reflects a period of your life or a period that you've experienced?
I would say that it doesn't necessarily have that on a really conscious level, but anywhere that you're a product of, it definitely influences your work and seeps into it. So I wouldn't say that I really consciously draw about Northern Ireland or about Ireland, but it's definitely there. There's elements of it that would come through. In my day-to-day job, I produce a comic series called Michael that's serialised on a website called Vice, and that goes out weekly. In that there's definitely elements of how I was brought up and where I was brought up and the language used in it as well. Since it's a comic, it relies on language. So you see that the way people talk from here and how they get on, that kind of goes into it that way. So yeah, definitely it does seep in, but it's never I never work in a way where I'm actively reflecting on Ireland or Northern Ireland.
And Paul, then just talk us through what the future holds for yourself. Do you hope to continue work similar to this?
Maintaining a practice as a freelance artist, or freelance illustrator rather, and it's only really been in the past 6 months that the work in itself and the clients that I want to work with have really taken off, and that's really been down to having, again, this unique space to work in, because prior to that I lived in London for many years and didn't have the freedom and time afforded to me that I do living and working in Belfast.
Illustration is it's a very traditional method of communication, something that goes back hundreds of years. It's sort of seen a renaissance over this past maybe 20, 30 years, where newspapers and magazines are starting to invest in it again. There's so many different styles. It's such a versatile art form, and here in Belfast there's maybe 40 or 50 students coming out each year, so there's always fresh talent, and we really want to showcase that.
The viewers can contact us through Facebook, it's We Are Mashmob, or through our website, and you'll be able to purchase all the limited edition pieces from there.